In the end, how much worse could it get?
I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets.
I was blind, but now I see.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours in Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. 99% of the world's population does not understand what a utility-driven market cap is, nor do they try to sit down and understand it. You're not going to sit down and understand it after watching one video. You need to go out there, do your own due diligence, do your own research, and try to figure out yourself. I'm going to give you a little bit of information. And before I get into this episode, I want to congratulate every single one of you guys that understand how the value of XRP is going to go to $100. Because at the end of the day, I give you the information, and it is your job as a human being to use your brain cells to put two and two together and say, wow, yes, $100 XRP is just only the starting point. And in today's video, you're going to see the value of XRP not only stay at $100, but increase over time because due to liquidity demand. You're going to hear the CEO of Hidden Road, Michael Higgins, talk about liquidity and how he's very eager to hear what the panel has to say. And then you're going to understand the fact that liquidity is going to be one of the main drivers, one of the utility drivers of the next world economy. And David Schwartz even says it himself if you listen to him right here.
Yeah, that's kind of where we are now, and we're trying to move into that stage where we have big players and lots of liquidity, and that way there'll be easy ways to get money in and out. There'll be lots of liquidity for cross-currency and cross-border payments, and it'll become a settlement system that will be of high value.
Very good.
And many of you guys say, thank you for the information, etc., etc. Thank you for letting me understand this. But at the end of the day, no, thank you for understanding what I'm trying to say. That's the difference. I bring you the information, but it takes you as a human being to understand what I'm saying and see the bigger picture. At the end of the day, don't thank me, thank yourself. I'm just a messenger, and you have to do your own due diligence and understand the bigger picture. But this is just monumental. That's all I got to say. And listen to what Michael Higgins says here. He is the CEO of Hidden Road. And if you guys recall, Hidden Road is Ripple's, Ripple acquired them this year. And then just weeks ago, Hidden Road is now Ripple Prime. This is an exciting new chapter for Ripple, making it the first crypto company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime broker and bring the promise of digital assets to institutional customers at scale. And listen to what he says here about liquidity. And he kind of slips up and then he recovers. I'll play the video twice.
Moving on to solving the liquidity problem, I'm super keen to hear this panel and what solutions are there. In my experience, a good way to do this is to allow third-party credit to come in through leverage and intermediaries. Allow third-party credit to come in through leverage and intermediaries, like you have in the TradFi space. To do that, the scale issues we talked about earlier need to really be addressed.
And we're going to get a little bit of help from the fundamental valuation framework because this is so important. This was put together by Susan Atley, and they said that XRP will go to $33 when we see adoption kick in, real utility. And they projected that we will see that level when we see $556 billion transacted on a daily volume on the XRP ledger, and it would give us a market cap of $3.2 trillion. And when they got the $33 XRP price, they did the math based off of 100 billion XRP in circulation, meaning every single XRP was in circulation, making it a very conservative price target. And in today's episode, I'm going to do the math based off of 30 billion active XRP in circulation, because you have to understand that there's going to be locked up ETFs. I'm going to go over in a minute. You're going to understand that we as retail are holding approximately under 20% of the entire XRP circulating supply. Okay, retail holds anywhere between 17 billion to 20 billion as a group across the whole world. Okay, so it's a matter of when are you going to sell, right? When am I going to sell? I'm not selling anytime soon. Sell with an objective is what I always say. If you don't need the money, put your assets to work. There's going to be new financial products designed around these digital assets, and selling too early, getting out early, you will be regretting it for the rest of your life. But take a listen to what we have to go over today, because it is very, very important. And at the end of the day, I know we're on the right side of history, we're on the right side of information, and we're on the right side of human beings able to understand this kind of information. Not many people understand it, and that is why I say this cliche word, like, we are the chosen one. As much as it sounds crazy, it's not, okay?
This example with real world assets, this is now a very real disruptive force to traditional finance. And for example, in our case, our focus right now is bringing $100 trillion worth of assets that DTCC is responsible for on-chain. Many folks here may not know who DTCC is and what we're responsible for. We're really looking to take advantage of real-time settlement from blockchain rails, and it's our responsibility to bring those assets into the market. This example.
Every single person in crypto loves talking about market cap, okay? But what they never stop to think about is this. What if the asset you're measuring isn't a company? Stop comparing XRP to a company. What if it's not meant to sit in a portfolio, right? But to move trillions of dollars through a global system. And you heard David say high value, right? That's when traditional market cap models break. And that's where XRP completely rewrites the playbook. Because XRP does not live on hype. It lives on liquidity. Right now, XRP sits around $2.52 per token, and it's got a market cap of $151 billion. And it's got around 2.2 billion in daily trading volume. If you divide that volume by market cap, the velocity isn't that deep, okay? The same XRP is not being used throughout the day in many, many times. So it means, guess what? XRP's dead. XRP's network is asleep. And I could come out here and confidently say that because it's reality. It's just being traded. It's not being used by any means, but that is retail. This is all speculative. Just like Bitcoin, just like everything else right now in this ecosystem is all driven by speculative VCs, hedge funds, and real no world impact with the collision of the financial world. And that's the most important thing to understand. Okay, today's prices are all speculation. It's not yet utility driven. A utility market cap doesn't represent investor demand. It represents the amount of liquidity required to move money through a system efficiently. So imagine you're a bank moving $1 trillion in payments in a single day. You need a certain pool of liquidity to handle that volume without friction. That pool size is XRP's utility market cap. So unlike stocks or Bitcoin, XRP's value isn't capped by speculation. It's capped by global money flow. So in 2018, you have to understand, this is Susan Atley. She is a Stanford economist, and she's also a professor in Stanford to date, and also a board on Ripple. And then Robert Mitchnick was the head of digital assets at BlackRock, but he has moved on this year. Okay, so they said that XRP, $33 per price, when we see $556 billion in daily volume, and that would give it a $3.2 trillion market cap. So you could call me crazy all you want, but you're also calling a Stanford University economist professor a delusional person, along with the head of digital assets a couple months ago, Robert Mitchnick, delusional. Okay, so you're not just calling me delusional, you're calling them delusional as well. Let that sink in, okay? A $33 level playing field price wasn't based on hype. It was based on math and liquidity math. XRP is a math-based currency, and that is why I am 100% certain that $100 XRP is going to happen within our lifetime, a lot faster than many of you guys expected. Okay, so they assumed a covered ratio of about 6x, meaning the total market cap needs to be roughly 6 times higher than the daily volume to keep the system stable. Okay, that's the foundation we're using right now. So I'm going to apply the same logic, but with modern context. We're going to put the ETFs, we're going to put the tokenized real world assets, we're going to put stablecoins, we're going to put CBDCs, all of which increases the demand for liquidity. We'll stay conservative and say 30 billion XRP actively circulating. Okay, and that is a very, very high number that I'm projecting for this one, because a 30 billion XRP circulating, given all the use cases that we're about to see, I mean, the head of the digital assets at the DTCC, listen to what she said.
Your time is up, guys. Like, just get in there. The water feels good. Dip your toes in and get going. This technology is moving too fast. Like, the technology is moving too fast. Like, if you sit by the sideline for any longer, it's going to be really hard to catch up. Just get in there. Again, the water's really good. And I think you'll enjoy the ride. So
take a look at this, right? So we have today's speculative price. The daily settlement, which I showed you, 2.2 billion. The market cap, we're going to imply the real numbers, 151 billion. And XRP is currently at $2.52. Purely trading, no real world usage. And now I'm going to give these stages a name that I'm just kind of giving you guys examples, right? So let's say we are entering the pilot corridors. So now we see a daily settlement on XRP, $25 billion. And the market cap would be approximately $150 billion, okay? So that gives a $5 XRP price, roughly, with 30 billion in circulation, okay? And actively circulating, okay? Active circulation. When you see, for example, when you take a look at XRP right now, and you take a look at the market cap of 151 billion, but you're looking at let's take a look at the 24-hour volume is $2.1 billion. But realistically, look how much XRP is actually being transacted. There is 861 million XRP being transacted on a daily basis. Not even a billion XRP is being utilized right now on a daily basis. So when we go back and look at the chart again, when we have this regional adoption and we have $50 billion through the settlement, gives it a market capitalization of roughly, again, these numbers are all projected estimates. We're looking at a $10 XRP. When we have global expansion, $100 billion daily volume, a $600 billion market capitalization, a $20 XRP. And then $250 billion. I'm going to let you guys read the stages and the coverages and the implied market caps, just to guys, so we can move through this a lot faster. A $250 billion market capitalization, settlement through XRP. And remember, we're doing the 6X like the Susan Atley and Robbie Mitchnick, gives it a $1.5 trillion market capitalization at a $50 XRP. And you're probably wondering, whoa, wait a minute. You just told me that out of 556 billion daily settlement through XRP is a $33 XRP, but now you're going to tell me it's at $111? Yes, because their math was based off of 100 billion XRP actively being utilized. In our math, we are being realistic. They're being conservative because they're not going to come out here, like I've said in the past, saying this is going to happen, this is going to happen. These are conservative targets. These individuals said that by 2030, Bitcoin would go to $93,000 on a conservative level. Bitcoin went over $125,000 in 2025 because they're more bullish on Bitcoin because they're not a part of Bitcoin. They could give those, bigger numbers to Bitcoin because, like I said, at the time, working at Ripple, they're not going to come out here and say, guess what, XRP is going to go to $100, $200. Legally, they can't do that. The PR team, it'll never get past PR for them to publish that kind of fundamental framework on behalf of Ripple at the time, okay? So a 556 billion daily settlement, 6X, $3.3 trillion market cap gives a $111 market cap for XRP, okay? And then when we move over to a $1 trillion market cap, I keep saying market cap, but 24-hour daily volume, $6 trillion market cap, a $200 XRP. And then when we go over to a $2 trillion daily volume, 6X, $12 trillion market cap, a $400 per XRP, and we are going to see trillions of dollars in daily volume, okay? Trillions of dollars, not just through the XRP ledger, but in this entire ecosystem. And the best part about this is Citibank told us this years ago. They already knew that this ecosystem was going to handle trillions in daily volume. Take a listen to them.
And I think we're going to see a massive adoption, in the next number of years, where this really grows in the regulated space too, which is really exciting. But I think the key thing about all of this is that every element of doing this in a regulated environment takes some time and takes some effort and takes some coordination and takes a lot of work in terms of standards and standard setting as well. So, for me, I'm really excited to see how this tech is going to really massively scale over the next few years into many trillions of volume and scale on a daily basis.
Raji?
Okay, so I'm going to let you do the rest. I'm not even going to say these numbers. Okay, you guys could take a look at the screen and take a look at the future projections and the rough estimates on these market capitalizations. But these are something that if you disagree with and you laugh with, all I gotta say is you're completely mentally ill. Honestly, you gotta have mental illness for you to sit there and laugh at a $12 trillion market cap or a $30 trillion market cap and not believe it. Honestly, you may think that I'm mentally ill to come out here and say XRP is going to go to a $30 trillion market cap. Absolutely not. Not even close to being mentally ill. Is maybe too mentally intelligent that you do not understand this kind of stuff. And it worries me. It honestly worries me, because when global payments use XRP, the price is going to scale with liquidity demand, not hype. To move more value per day, you need a bigger liquidity pool, meaning XRP's market cap grows naturally with usage. That's why a utility-driven market cap behaves differently. It doesn't move with speculation. It moves with throughput, how much money the system moves every day. The bigger the daily flows, the higher the base value needed to keep those flows, okay? And that's why market cap, as we know it, doesn't limit XRP, because XRP isn't a share of a company. It's a digital infrastructure for global liquidity. And I'm done addressing any kind of individuals that don't understand this anymore, even on X. Somebody gave me a mention yesterday saying, I've been in this industry for 16 years and I do not understand. And I know for a fact you're wrong about what a utility-driven market cap is. Explain it to me. Yeah, you fool. We're about to witness something that we have never witnessed before. Like, are you absolutely insane? Okay? Like, do you not see this? We haven't witnessed anything like this before. We are all living through history at the same time. If you told me in let's say 2016, saying that the government was going to put out a flu, it was going to attack everybody was going to get locked down, everybody was going to get forced to get vaccines, were you going to believe that? Absolutely not. We lived through history, and we're going to live through history when XRP does the same exact goddamn thing. Okay? Wake up. But guess what? People look at those numbers like $3.2 trillion or $30 trillion and lose their minds. They say that's impossible. That's more than the entire crypto market. Yes, because it's not the same kind of market. Bitcoin is a speculative store of value. XRP is a functional liquidity layer that will process trillions in real-world transactions. So when XRP's price suddenly moves from $2, $10, $10 to $50, you'll see people scratching their heads saying, how did this happen? It's not random. It's what happens when the world's money starts moving through a new system. The people who mock this concept are the same people who mocked the internet probably back in the 90s. The same people that said email will never replace mail or digital money will never replace cash. They'll be the same ones saying, wait, how did XRP hit triple digits overnight? And we'll be here saying, because liquidity finally turned on. So to everyone who understood this years ago, you're already sitting on profits, baby. And more importantly, on conviction. To those who still think this is nonsense, keep laughing. Please, please keep laughing. I'll laugh with you. Keep doubting. I'll doubt with you, because the day XRP becomes the engine of global liquidity, you won't be calculating market caps anymore. You're going to be calculating what you missed out on, little fella. Okay, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. But going forward, I am not going to address the last two episodes that I made on this channel have been extremely, extremely aggressive. But I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to address the fools. Like you guys say in the comments down below, you can't fix stupid, right? And it's the same reason why we have directions on shampoo bottles, right? It is what it is. At the end of the day, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. This is just the beginning. And I really hope this gave you guys a perspective. I want you guys to please share this video. as much as you can, share it to your loved ones so at least you have receipts saying, hey, listen, I warned you when XRP was at $2.50 and you missed out. So with that being said, I'll see you guys very soon, and we'll be back with another video.
There'll be lots of liquidity for cross-currency and cross-border payments, and it'll become a settlement system that will be of high value.
It started with a vision, now it's spreading wide. SLT's the token, it's our DJ pride. 24-hour crypto, leading the call, bringing XRP believers, united we stand tall. First ledger's on fire, trades like the scene. SLT's the movement, power in the dream. From the memes to the moon, we're making it real. 100 XRP, that's the deal. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny.
As long as a specific asset class actually starts moving on-chain wholesale, and you get true hockey stick adoption.
This ain't just a token, it's a battle cry. For those who know, XRP will fly high. Salute is the name, SLT the ticker. First ledger's buzzing, trades getting quicker. Building the future, brick by brick. In a world powered by Ripple, the vision will stick. We're more than a meme, it's a movement strong. XRP believers, let's prove them wrong. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. 24-hour crypto, the captain of the crew. SLT's the anthem for the bold and true. Through the dips and the pumps, we stand and fight, believing in the ledger, in the dawn's bright light. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny. So raise your SLT, let the world hear the sound. XRP believers, we're Ripple bound. From the memes to the charts, the vision is clear. Salute to the future, the time is near. I salute you, you salute me. Together in XRP we believe. From the trenches to the skies we see. XRP to 100 destiny.
With another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.